New Zealand, Australia, Indonesia, Kenya, 9 European countries, and Argentina. The 1997 FIA World Rally Championship, 14 events spanning the globe. The championship this year was a story of 3 men, Colin McRae, Carlos Sainz, and the reigning title holder, Tommi Mäkinen. The year began in late January with the Monte Carlo Rally and a disastrous start for Colin McRae. Retirement for the Subaru driver, but Ford's Carlos Sainz was much happier. His second place, a superb result for the new M Sport team. Tommi Mäkinen finished third in the Evolution 4 Mitsubishi Lancer, but it was the Subaru team which won the rally. Italy's Piero Liatti drove superbly to take his first win on a World Championship event. Round 2, the international Swedish rally, and mild weather meant that Mäkinen had to take advantage of what snow there was. Another third place was his reward. Sainz again came second, giving him the lead in the Drivers' Championship, but there was mixed news for Colin McRae. He led the rally on the final day, but 2 spins meant that he finished 4th, scoring his first points of the year. Subaru won again, however, Kenneth Eriksson victorious on his home event. From snow and ice to heat and dust, Kenya's Safari Rally was round 3 and the tables were turned. Sainz retired early on after losing a wheel. Mäkinen too went out, a string of punctures ending his rally. McRae was confronted by a succession of problems, not all of them mechanical. A man-made obstacle caused a few anxious moments. He and co-driver Nicky Grist survived all the problems, however, and were finally able to record their first win of the year, Subaru's third. Round 4 in Portugal, though, saw retirement for both Subarus with what would become their Achilles heel.
The car has stopped in a stage. All the fuses and everything is in, but it's just stopped dead. We have ignition, but nothing else.
Sainz's rally would also end in retirement. Gearbox failure meant another non-finish. Disappointment for Ford after such an excellent start to the season. With his 2 main rivals out, Tommi Mäkinen could finally take his first victory of the year, and Subaru's domination of the championship was over. 4 rallies, 4 different winners. The Rally Catalunya in Spain was round 5. Mäkinen took his and Mitsubishi's first win on an all-tarmac rally. Sainz had another miserable event. At least he finished, but a string of problems meant that he scored no points.
5 left opens into K, 3 left opens.
McRae again led the rally, but again, luck wasn't on his side.
Is the wheel gone?
It's just the tyres going off it now.
6 right and 3 right, 30, 4 right minus. 30, 6 left minus. Your stop and change, shall we? 30, 3 left, tightens, long.
One of the stories of the rally, however, was the speed of the Peugeots. Normally, Formula 2 cars with only 2-wheel drive and 2-litre engines are slower than the World Championship contenders. But both Gilles Panizzi and Francois Delacour were on the pace right from the start.
If you're in France and you're designing a car to win your local events, then you might design what they've done. But if you want to go right round the world, you want to win Safari, you want to win the RAC in Great Britain, you want to go to the snow in Sweden, you build one of these cars.
Round 6 on the island of Corsica, and Mäkinen's rally ended in spectacular fashion. Sainz then looked to be on course for his first win of the season, but it wasn't to be. A stunning drive on the last stage gave Colin McRae victory number 2. Argentina, round 7, and Sainz had a new teammate, 4-times world champion Juha Kankkunen. Carlos himself retired on the final day while on course to finish 3rd, more disappointment for the team. McRae ended a string of non-finishes on the Rally Argentina with 2nd place, but once again it was Tommi Mäkinen who won, his 3rd victory of the season, and it looked as though nothing could stop him taking the driver's title. Greece and round 8, the Acropolis Rally. McRae retired with steering failure. Mäkinen finished 3rd, but not without a little help. His teammate Richard Burns deliberately dropped a place to finish 4th, allowing Tommy to claim an extra point.
Andrew, you had to make some tough calls today.
Yeah, I must admit it's been very difficult, and especially since Tommy's such a good sport, and he certainly appreciated that Richard had driven very, very well, and he deserved his 3rd place, but I mean, rallying has become a business, and we've got to look at that 1 point, since our target is to win the Drivers' Championship.
But Greece saw a turning point in Ford's fortunes. Kankkunen finished second, while Sainz took the team's first win for over a year. As the championship took a short break, this was how the Drivers' Series looked. Mäkinen led by 10 points from McRae, with Sainz, Liati and Ericsson rounding off the top 5 places. Around 9. The 6-week break after the Acropolis rally meant that the teams had a chance to test and develop their cars in readiness for the last 6 rallies. The stunning New Zealand scenery, meanwhile, offered its usual welcome. McRae and Mäkinen, the leading pair in the championship, set off at a furious pace. The others looked to be in a different league. Surely something would have to give. Mäkinen was driving right on the limit. It was obvious that Tommy was trying too hard to catch Colin, and the inevitable happened. Retirement.
I don't understand what is wrong with this rally. It's so nice to drive. I like these dates. It's very much like 1,000 Lakes, and it's so enjoyable rally. It's no luck. It's no luck. That's it.
In theory, that meant McRae could cruise to victory. In theory.
Into 6 left minus cut. Into 4 right minus tightens. Into 2 left plus tightens. Yeah, okay. Into 6 right. Cam belt tensioner just broke, just exiting that right-hander there. So at the end of the day, that's it. Our championship started here, but maybe it ends here, we don't know.
Well, it looked like it was going to be fairly plain sailing in 10 points, which at this point in the championship is very, very important to us.
McRae's teammate Kenneth Ericsson was then left to uphold Subaru honours. He led despite this spin.
20. Vänster 2 minus.
But what of Sainz? He was challenging Ericsson when this happened on the final day. The collision with the sheep brought back memories of Mäkinen's accident with a cow in Corsica, yet Sainz was at least able to struggle on without brakes and with damage to his bodywork, engine and suspension. At the next service area, his mechanics were faced with a grim task. Juha Kankkunen finished third, 2 podium finishes in as many events. Sainz and Lewis Moyer set the fastest time on every one of the remaining 5 stages, but it wasn't quite enough. In the closest ever finish to the Rally New Zealand, Kenneth Ericsson and Staffan Pamander claimed victory by just 13 seconds. Back to Europe and round 10, the Rally of Finland, formerly known as the Thousand Lakes Rally. As well as the regulars, there was a car making its first appearance in the series, Toyota returning to the World Championship with their new Corolla. Local driver Marcus Gronholm shocked the title hopefuls by leading after the first leg. Didier Auriol drove the other Corolla to an encouraging 8th place, demonstrating the car's revolutionary joystick-controlled sequential gearbox.
Wherever we go in the world, the Corolla is sold, and this has been obviously a problem in the past. All the distributors have said, look, why don't you come with the Corolla, because this is the car we sell.
The rally is very much a specialist event, dominated by Scandinavian drivers. McRae, however, was only 9 seconds behind Gronholm after day 1. As the car neared the finish of day 2's first stage, there was no hint of any problem. Yet immediately it passes the flying finish line, an all too familiar dull rattle is a sure sign that the Rally of Finland is over. Retirement number 3 due to that Achilles heel.
There's talk that it might be the cam belt again. Is that something that happened in New Zealand and in Portugal? Do you think that's possible?
Well, I don't really know. I'm not an engineer. There's definitely an engine problem around that area, so you need to talk to David Lapworth or some of the engineers.
From a personal point of view, how do you feel?
Obviously, pretty gutted. The championship's really out the window now, unless Tommy and Carlos had a disaster here. I don't think it's possible to catch them.
Unlike New Zealand, there would be no second car to fall back on. Ericsson retired with exactly the same problem.
10 ner nu.
Är det samma?
Ja.
Carlos Sainz is one of the few non-Scandinavians to have won the event, but his experience didn't help. His was a familiar story.
Carlos, the same problem?
Yes, no diffs.
His fourth successive win on the Rally of Finland put Tommy into the record books, only the second time in the history of the championship that a driver's achieved that feat. No wonder there were some delighted faces in the Mitsubishi team. This was also their fourth victory of the year.
Open, 3 outside. Into 3 right, opens.
Fire.
Fire, oh shit, okay.
Yeah, fire extinguisher out. I think we have to stop it.
I think so. Find a place to stop and...
Why keep going if the car's this badly damaged?
If we can get the radiator in and the engine will run okay, then it's going to be all right. The rest of the car's fine, it's just because it split the radiator.
Despite their mechanics' efforts, their rally ended at the roadside. As did Mäkkinen's, although his accident wasn't so dramatic. Neil Bates was the guest driver in the Toyota team. He also retired with damage caused by an off. In Formula 2, a string of victories meant that Seat retained the 2-litre World Cup. With McRae and Mäkkinen out, Ford could clean up. Juha Kankkunen and his co-driver Juha Repo finished second. But for the second successive year, Carlos Sainz and Luis Moya won the rally. This was also their second win of the year, and the string of podium finishes achieved by both cars meant that the team were back on course for both world titles, with only 3 events remaining. Italy's Rally San Remo, round 12. The contenders, Nicky Grist and Colin McRae. Piero Liati and Fabrizio Pons. Luis Moya and Carlos Sainz. And Seppo Harjanne and Tommi Mäkinen. Any hope Sainz had of another win was soon dashed. 4th place scant reward after a thrilling drive. Mäkinen finished 3rd, beating Sainz by just 2 seconds. But it was the 2 Subaru Imprezas which fought for victory. Liati began the final stage in the lead, but was ordered to stop before the finish to allow McRae to take the win.
E destra, in destra 4 e sinistra 30, destra e tornantino sinistro.
Fermo.
Per destra 5, fermati, fermati. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, vai.
McRae knew that victory would give him a slim chance of the championship, hence the team orders. In the end, Liati and Pons had to deliberately incur a time penalty to allow their teammates to win, but the result was the same, a Subaru 1-2.
Right, tightens and narrows, don't cut. In the slow 3 left line, don't cut. And right and 5 right plus. And 6 left into right and 1 left tightens. Into 6 right. Okay. Well done. Well done, mate. Well driven.
The city of Perth, home to round 13, Rally Australia. Unique scenery and wildlife would witness Colin McRae's fight for victory. A victory which would narrow the gap between Colin and Tommi Mäkinen, who still led the series. Should Mäkinen win, however, then the championship would be decided in the Finns' favour, so it was all or nothing. Neil Bates drove the Toyota Corolla once again, although he and co-driver Coral Taylor looked to repeat their Indonesian retirement at one point. Happily, they survived the incident. Toyota achieved their best finish to date with their new car, when Oriol came home third, a promising result.
Droite à fond, sur piège, 60 mètres, attention, droite 5 plus, sur attention, droite 60 en 2, avoir un peu corde sur emmanchement.
Sainz was another who needed a win to stay in touch with the championship, but it wasn't to be.
Posible cuarta, no cortar, bota, 2. Rasante, uno corto, Fernando engaña. ¿Qué ha pasado? Izquierda, izquierda, ahora menos. We are in the middle of the stage, we have a problem, we don't know what it is. Dale al crank, dale al crank.
Well, I think I have been not so lucky, not even in this one. I think the whole year it has been quite unlucky.
Sainz's retirement meant that the rally and the world title could now only be won by two men. McRae inherited the lead when Sainz went out and knew that just a few stages remained. Mäkinen, though, was catching him. The pressure was on.
Tommy went very quick after I saw Carlos stop. I backed off a bit too much. It's very difficult to judge. So Tommy had a very quick time, so the pressure's still there a bit.
Of course, next stage is very good for me. I was quite a lot faster last year on this next stage, and I try to do what I can.
On the final stage, McRae's commitment was total.
Did you like that, jumpy man? How are you on those jumps?
But was it enough?
What do you reckon, Colin? You've done enough?
Well, if he beats that, he deserves it.
Faster over the first half of the stage, Mäkinen's challenge faded on the second half. At the stage finish, Tommy's face said it all.
I knew already that it's not fast enough. I made a few mistakes and I was trying a few places a bit too much, and I lost perhaps 5 seconds.
So the last round would decide the championship. From Australia, the teams made the long journey to Britain's RAC Rally. Cheltenham Racecourse was the event's new home, although most of the stages were run in the famous Welsh Forests, classic rallying country. With Sainz joining Toyota next year, Ford announced that Kankkunen will be joined by Bruno Thierry. Mäkinen was first to start the rally, but the fastest time on the foggy first stage around Cheltenham Racecourse itself was set by McRae. The battle for the championship was on. But that stage saw the beginning and the end of the rally for Kenneth Eriksson and co-driver Staffan Plamander.
Vänster 4, slipper in. 40. Vänster 4 plus, 120. Går bra, går bra.
Engine failure followed that spin and they were out. That left Piero Liatti and Fabrizio Pons to try and help McRae and Grist, but the Italians were also finding things very slippery. On the rally's second day, they rolled their Impreza heavily. The dented roof bore witness to what had happened.
How many times did you go over?
I think about 2, but we landed on the 4 wheels, so we switched it on the engine and off we went.
The event also saw a spectacle new to Britain, a super special stage. Many of the rounds now feature these stages where two cars race each other as well as the clock, but it was the first chance British spectators had had to see action like this. McRae and Mäkinen were the first pair to tackle the stage, with McRae setting the fastest time. The 1 second he picked up might not influence the result, but the committed performance gained him even more fans. Day 2 and the fog was back. McRae started the day's first stage in the lead, but ended it in 4th place.
That the arrows call.
I can't see a thing.
Leg 2 then became a struggle to make up the lost time.
Into 6 left, tightens.
Richard Burns now led, desperate to help teammate Mäkinen take the title. For Didier Auriol, the RAC rally would end on day 2 in spectacular fashion.
à fond, sur gauche à fond, attention, et 3. Sur gauche à fond, plonge. Gauche à fond, plonge. Putain, c'est malin ça. Putain, on va se faire mal. Mamie, je t'aime, mamie, je t'aime, mamie, je t'aime.
Burns started day 3 sharing the lead with McRae. A brilliant drive on the day's first stage was in vain. A puncture on the second ended any chance of victory.
That first World Championship win is still eluding you. You obviously proved yesterday you can do it. Is it going to be a long way off, do you think?
It's not that far off. It could have been this afternoon.
Now out of the hunt for the championship, Sainz would finish in second place. The broken drive shaft soon fixed his only problem. A subdued Mäkinen, suffering a heavy cold, knew that 6th place would be enough to give him the title and duly drove for the point, not the win. McRae, on the other hand, knew that he had to win, with Tommy not scoring, for the World Championship to come back to Britain. Cheered on by the thousands of spectators, he was out to win at almost any cost. The only hiccup in an otherwise trouble-free final day was a scare caused by 2 over-enthusiastic marshals on the penultimate stage. He returned to Cheltenham the winner and the loser.
Colin, congratulations. Again, you've won the RAC rally, but it doesn't look as if you've got the championship. Is it elation or sadness tonight?
A bit of both, really. Obviously very disappointed in the championship, but at least we've managed to win the home event, so it's a good finish to the year.
1997 World Rally Champion Tommi Mäkinen for the 2nd year in a row. Tommy, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Did you think you'd ever make it to the end of this rally? You looked very ill earlier in the day.
It looked very bad yesterday somewhere, but then finally we get the end of day and they changed everything for the car, and today it was in perfect condition and today was a bit easy.
Coming up on.
After 14 rounds, 1 point was all that separated McRae and Mäkinen in the closest finish to the Drivers' Championship since 1979. Sainz finished 3rd, while Kankinen's string of 2nd places meant that he ended the season 4th. Subaru won the Manufacturers' Series, but Ford's 2 podium places meant they finished ahead of Mitsubishi.
This is a year's work, and we've all worked, the whole team's worked very hard for 14 events, and this is the target that we set ourselves at the start, and we won it.
We've always said that if Tommy could get to 6th place, then good luck to him, and he proved it, and fair dues to him with a terrible cold, under difficult conditions, he did it, and I take my hat off to him.
Tommi Mäkinen and Seppo Harjanne, 1997 World Rally Champions.